Hi, everyone. Hi, Diane. I was just watching a live concert that my son sent me. We went to an ELO concert, I think last week, and sent me a big video about on it. And also watching the hurricane. Don't we have people in Florida? Where's Guitar Guy from? I know there's some people from Florida. I can't for the life remember which ones. Yeah, this is a big one. Then they show some people surfing on the outer edges of it. Yeah. And they showed some people on a dock watching it come in. That was my sister and I at one point. We stayed for a hurricane, and for a while we were watching it like that till it got worse and we went, took cover. Yeah. Well, I did get some things done today. I had an appointment. I had an appointment today at 2:30 to go to the bank to meet up with my bank guy I see about, I don't know, every month or so. So got that taken care of. And got my things listed and some things drafted for tomorrow. And I'm washing. As I was decluttering, I found up in a clothes closet that I never go in, I found a whole bunch of drapes for my family room. So they're cotton drapes and they just fit, like, they don't cover the windows. They just fit on like each side of the but they're more wintry than what I have on now. I have sheers on there now. I mean, they don't cover, but they just, decorate more. So I'm washing these and seeing if I can hang them on the same rods that I have up. For the winter, it'll be something different. They're beige and I have yellow walls now. I haven't used these drapes in years. So I have the tie back. I have the ties that I made. And we'll see if I can do this or not. Samantha will help me. If not, I have to get new, like, half rods that you put on the ends of the windows that go over about, I don't know, maybe that far. And you just hang the drapes on the edges of the windows. They're not meant to close at all. So that was a find as I was decluttering. I don't know if I said this the other night or not, but I found a $50 gift card from Starbucks. Now, it's the kind that you peel open and take out the card. Well, I opened it. I mean, just, recent, just now when I found it. And the card is still in there and it hasn't been moved. So I think this is still good. Starbucks gift cards don't run out because I've already asked that several times about other gift cards. So, yeah, that would be a nice find. Hi, Rebecca. Yes, I don't know if when was I on last Sunday? Oh, so I've been to the eye doctor. I got new glasses. Did I say this? Seems familiar. Maybe it's because I was telling my sister. I got new glasses. They won't come in for about 3, 4 weeks. They're very slow in getting the glasses made. They're more like here, I'll show you. These are my last glasses. See, these are bigger round. This was the shape of my last glasses. They're more, they're narrower. And the glasses I picked out are narrower. They're not quite that narrow, but they're purple, of course. And along the side, right here, they have a diamond. So a little bling. They're just different than I've ever had before. So I'm anxious to get them. I did have a change in my prescription, but not much. So I'm hoping that I can see better with this little bit of change. Everything else was good. My cataract hasn't gotten any worse, and my macular degeneration hasn't gotten any worse at all. Yeah, they are a little fancy for me. My sister just told me last night when I was talking to her that she had on her new glasses, she has a little bling too. She has some tiny little diamonds along here. Yes, it certainly is. This was a surprise. For a while, everybody was giving me Starbucks gift cards because before the plague, I was going there all the time. You know, I have never, except maybe in the very first couple times I went, I have never had to pay for Starbucks because everybody started giving me gift cards for my birthday, for Christmas, for whatever. And I just loaded them up on my gold card, my gold Starbucks card. And I always had a large amount of money on my gold card to pay for anything I wanted at Starbucks. And I still have quite a bit on there. So the last couple times that Samantha and I went to Target, there's a Starbucks in Target. So I just bought her whatever drink she wanted because I have this money and I don't go to Starbucks that often. Back when I used to go in to the regular Starbucks restaurant and sit down and do things like on the computer and whatever. This is a long time ago. But then the plague came and I didn't go out for a year. And that sort of stopped. So I don't go in anymore. I just go through the window and pick up, like everybody else does when I want something. And I don't do that often because I don't go out at all very often. Speaking of the plague, I have been down all week with it. Oh no, Renee, I'm sorry. Riri, hi. Does anybody remember? I think we have some people from Florida. Does anybody can think of who it is? Is it Guitar Guy? And Dahlia? Somebody's from Florida. And because of my horrible memory, I can't remember where anybody's from. So, yeah. I've been watching that, although I don't have to watch it quite as careful anymore because I don't have any property down there. But this is a huge one. Yeah. I think even though you're not in the area that gets the direct hit, you're still going to get a whole lot from it as far as surge and rain and wind and everything because it's just so wide. Mm. Well, I pray everybody will be okay. Young surfers are out there surfing in it so far, yeah. At least what they were showing on CNN. It wasn't where it was going to get a direct hit, however. I hope those people have fled uh, and went inland. This is going to travel up, you know, through Georgia and I think South Carolina. So it's like a category 4 right now. It's a biggie. Pray for your sister. She's in the middle of Georgia. Yeah. Yes, they are. They're getting a direct hit. It's going to go up and then a little east, going through Georgia and South Carolina. I know people in Florida. Well, Georgia, the person I know that was from Georgia is now in Florida, but South Carolina, yeah, we know people. Although I think when my niece's daughter, when they moved back to the Carolinas, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure now whether it's it could be North Carolina, but still. Yeah, it's a bad hurricane season. We had threats of a tornado the other night. My daughter was scared to death. It wasn't here. It was more at her house. But it never I think it hit to the ground for seconds. But not where she was and then went out over the lake. But it went right through where she usually works at. I mean, she does that gig work and she does grocery delivery and everything. And it was right where she delivers. It's right where she sits and waits for orders, is where it went. But she went home by that time. She was at home. Uh, yeah. So I have like maybe I can stretch it to 2 days worth of more listings to do. And then I have found some things as I'm decluttering that I can put on of mine. And they aren't all clothes. They're different things. So yeah, may see some different items. Hard goods. Well, I'm not crazy about listing, but yeah, I'll do it in a pinch. I also have jewelry. Uh, some jewelry that from Violent Farm to put on yet, and something else. Uh, My daughter keeps asking me if I put my grounding sheet on. But, whoop, but here it is, still all folded up. I have not put it on yet because I just know that my plugs up in my bedroom are not grounded. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I could stretch it. I could stretch it out on the couch, maybe down here, but I'm not going to sleep on the couch. I have to sleep in my bed. Hi, Jackie. See, I'm one of those people that I can't sleep unless I'm in a bed. I can't sleep on a couch. And I have to have my pillow. Hi, Kiki. And yeah, so I want to somehow be able to put a grounded plug up in my bedroom. And I haven't heard from my handyman. I called him last week. I haven't called him again. I hope, because he hasn't called me back, I hope that means he's not going to call me back. Because I swear that's what happens every time. And I end up again with no handyman. So I'm going to try again. I'll try tomorrow to call him. And he may just be really busy. I don't know. But yeah. We couldn't have done that much outside anyway because we've had a lot of rain. A grounding sheet is supposed to reduce your inflammation, which then reduces pain. Yeah, it's a whole thing of how it works. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but they say it does work. It's like grounding. If you go out in your bare feet, with your bare feet on the ground, or with something, I had some advertisements come across my computer about they have shoes now that you can buy. They're all leather. I think they're soft leather on the bottom. Like me, I can't walk in my bare feet. I just have never been barefoot in my whole life, even when I was a child. Our mother wouldn't let us do that. And I have to have something on my feet. I can't walk barefoot. So these shoes would be great. I'm going to price them out and I'll let you know. They're not bad looking. I mean, it's just what you would wear around the house when you'd be going out in the yard, you know. But I think they're all leather. They look like soft leather. But it'd be something between, so you wouldn't get poked with things on the ground. Because I have all my trees are dropping nuts right now. I have acorns, black walnuts, and buckeyes. You should hear it here when the wind blows hard. It sounds like a war zone. So all those nuts are on the ground. They're the acorns especially because they're just little like this. They're like walking on ball bearings. I can hardly walk out there. It's starting now that there's so many. And within a few weeks, it's going to be dangerous for me to walk out there. So I've been trying to rake them into piles, the branches, the little tiny branches that fall and the nuts. I'm trying to rake them into little piles. Maybe I could use it on the recliner and watch YouTube while getting grounded. Yeah, yes, I did think of that. I could stretch it across. There is a plug right there on the wall. I could at least try it there until I get this thing figured out about upstairs. Yeah, I have I I did so many I had so much to carry downstairs from upstairs when I was decluttering one of the closets and the where I found those drapes. And I haven't started the two biggies up there. I did all the drawers. The two big things I have are my closets, my regular personal closet, and the linen closet. My linen closet is stuffed full. So I know I can get through. I know I can get rid of 3/4 of what's in my linen closet. So yeah, that has to be done this next week. When I have these big numbers to do, you know, like today I didn't do any today is the problem. Today is what, the 26th? What's today? Yeah, the 26th. I should be doing 26 items. If I had some more junk drawers to do, it would be easy because junk drawers, that's also easy. And I do have a junk drawer in that big uh, desk, that big oak desk by where I do the photography now. So I could get things from there. But tomorrow's 27 things. I'm going to have to do one of those closets. If I get up and do it early, I'll have enough energy to photograph, to uh, get the camera set up and do a video. I don't know what's so hard for me to get all that put up and put together to do something. It just makes things take longer when you're trying to videotape and do something. Bathroom drawers, I did those already. I did the bathroom drawers. Uh, I did the medicine cabinets. And Samantha and I, before I ever started this, Samantha and I have a whole cupboard in there with glass doors. I mean, from, a high one, not the medicine cabinet. And we did that months ago. So there may be still some things in there I can get rid of, but it's not like it used to be. I don't have just one junk drawer. The day I went to do junk drawers, I did at least one, two, three, four. I could consider these three junk too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 8 junk drawers. So I got a lot out of there. I even found in a drawer that I never go in my dining room, where I keep things like, I don't know, candles and things like that. There was even a paper bag in there. It was all torn up. You can tell a little mouse had been in there, tore it all up, and had probably made a nest at one time. It wasn't an active nest anymore. But yeah, there had been a mouse in there. So I cleared all that out of there and vacuumed the drawer and got that all cleaned out. And yeah, there was a lot in that drawer, those couple drawers. So those are all cleaned out. Yeah, this is a good thing to do, really. In fact, one thing I found in these drawers was a debit card that Chase had sent me a while back. And I took it into him and I said, "Is this any good anymore?" I mean, and he looked at it and he said, "This expired in 2021." And he took it and shredded it for me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't use debit cards. I just feel they're dangerous to carry around for sure. And when I got it, I just put it in this drawer. And so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I didn't remember my password anyway. He said if it would have been active, I could have had it read a password redone on it. He could have done that somehow. But I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. Mm. Yeah, the one day when I needed a lot of things to declutter. The junk drawers were the first place I went because, you collect everything in them. So I just had a wastebasket sitting right next to there, and there wasn't anything good to save. It was just went into the garbage. It's amazing what stuff you accumulate and just stuff into drawers. Well, in October sometime is when I'll do my October Halloween stories from the ear. There's at least two good ones and some other little ones. But yeah, I've been saving them for more toward Halloween. I have to warn you up front, they don't have happy endings, but they're very Halloweeny. Uh, yeah. So I think my son had to send me this video. It's like practically the whole show. Uh, it was back in the rock rock music that I enjoy. It's not the hard rock, and it's not stuff you can't really understand. So I enjoyed watching it. And I emailed him, I said, this even had me dancing a little bit. Ah, but I think he felt he had to send that because that was one of the weekends he was supposed to come out here, and they went to this concert. But he plays the guitar and he collects guitars, and he goes to a lot of whatever concerts he can get tickets to. Your problem is I want everything in my two junk drawers. I had way too much for just two junk drawers. Mine's spread around. So then I can't find anything. Once it goes in the junk drawers, I don't know where it is. So it was good to get them all cleared out. Obviously, if the stuff's been in there for years, I don't need it, right? That's why this decluttering's so good. Like, who knew that I had all these drapes from years past in that closet? They were in a bag on the floor, and I just passed over what was on the floor, and, yeah, so I don't need that anymore. I have a huge I have a huge suitcase that I think my son and Linda gave me for us for Christmas. This was last long time ago when Jack was alive, and we would travel to Florida for like we'd stay a month or more. So I took a large amount. This is when you could take big suitcases on the planes. And it's a huge, big suitcase. I used it maybe twice, and it sits upstairs for years now. I don't know if anybody even uses them anymore. I'm sure it cost a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to list it, but then how am I going to ship it? That's the problem. I have the hiccups now. Uh yeah, I don't want to have to go through that shipping thing. It would have to be a pick up at the like a Facebook pickup thing, which I don't like to do. So I don't know. There it sits upstairs. I have to ask anybody that maybe Jolene. They go on little trips. Maybe they would be able to use it. I don't know. Samantha would. I'll ask them. I'd rather just give it to somebody that could use it. And because I am not going to ship it someplace, that's for sure. It's not a hard sided, it's soft sided. Uh, that's your first item of the day. No. I have some items in my photo box ready to photo. I've already put things on today and I've already drafted things for tomorrow. But you mean to throw to declutter? Yeah. It certainly it will be a declutter thing because I'm not gonna resell that. Maybe I should give it back to my son and Linda because I'm sure they'll no, they won't take the kids again. The kids are getting too old. They were already just a couple years ago, they were in Disney World and down there. So they won't be going back, I don't think. Throw 25 items in there and take it to Goodwill. That's a good idea. Yeah, that would be a day of decluttering. Would be today. Tomorrow I could throw 26 items in. Instead, yeah, because I have to load up my car. I have 3 full boxes sitting in the living room. I couldn't put it in the car because today, after I went to the bank, I had to go to Tractor Supply and pick up chicken feed and bird seed. So I couldn't put it in the car till I got home with that. So I have to unload that from the car, and then I can take all these boxes out. And then I have a load to take to Goodwill. You're right, I could load a bunch of stuff in there. Good idea, Riri. Ah, I've already put the chickens to bed. I gave them some corn on the cob. They love to pick it off the cob. Keeps them busy. So uh, they went in. They went in early enough. It's getting darker earlier, so I can get them in and locked up before I come on here. Now I have those drapes in the washing machine, and as soon as I get off of here, I have to go put them in the dryer. It's going to take 2 loads, so I have to put in another load of them. And hopefully I'll have them done by tomorrow and see what I can do with them. They're heavy cotton, and of course, these huge drapes are going to need ironed. I just make work for myself. Sell your drapes and the things in your linen closet. Well, I have to see what's in my linen closet. It may not be worth selling. I I have I have lots of sheets and things. I always see sheets at Goodwill. I'm hoping I can use these drapes for in the winter time to make it a little different. Yeah. My new dryer is working perfectly. Just like new. Yeah, those old dryer washers and dryers are the best, I'm telling you. I told you the first problem I had was with my new washing machine. And it's when I tried to wash something it was a huge quilt, the heavy kind, not the puffy kind, the heavy, dense kind. And it got wet, of course, getting washed, and then it got so heavy, the washer just couldn't handle it. It stopped. I couldn't make it spin out. It was, the water was still in there. So there I am with this heavy quilt in the water that I can't pick up myself. I can't get it out. And it's dripping, it's soaking wet. I can't get the water out of the dryer or out of the washing machine. What a pain. I finally just dragged it out, the quilt out, little by little, just dragged it out. It was soaking wet. And it finally dried enough that could get it upstairs and outside to dry the rest of the way. But, it's because I got the kind of washer that doesn't have the middle agitator. It has that bottom thing that does this. I don't know if it even works as well, but it makes it bigger inside. I don't know if it was that, because I know I've washed these 2 quilts before. I didn't even wash the other one because I knew it was going to do the same thing. So both of those went to Goodwill, and they were nice quilts. I think I bought them new at TJ Maxx. The new washers are terrible. They can't handle heavy. Right. This one cannot handle heavy things like that. I'll never put something heavy like that in again. And I'm not one to go to the laundromat, so anything I put in has to be light, you know. I have some real light, uh, like chenille bedspreads that are lightweight. They're not heavy. Those do fine. The drapes I split in 2 loads, and they're okay. Uh, oh, yeah. That was during I bought that washing machine during the, plague. That's when my washer went. I couldn't get anybody here to fix it, and I had to buy one online from Home Depot, and they did finally come and deliver it, but yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I would have kept my old one and gotten it refixed again, but they weren't doing that during that time, and I had to have a washing machine. Well, if you remember, for a long time when they you couldn't even get things delivered. I had that little baby washing machine that you put in your tub. There's a video about it way back during the 20s, during the plague, about that washing machine. It really worked. It worked good. It was a lot of work. It didn't dry, but it spun things so fast, it spun the water out so good. The things were almost dry, so that when you hung them up on the clothesline, it didn't take much at all to dry. So it really served the purpose for when I needed it. They're the kind of things people buy for in their RVs or in their at the campsites and things like that. Yes, there was a problem getting appliances. It took me a long time. That's why I had to get this little baby washer. You have a front load, but it does not seem to clean as well. I've never had a front load washer. Yeah, that was a terrible time. I hope that never happens again while I'm on the earth. I have to tell you that my favorite time anymore, and I do this a lot now. Uh, I'm studying the Bible like I never studied it before in my whole life. And I found a Bible teacher, minister online from Cornerstone Chapel in Leesburg, Virginia. His name is Gary Hambrick, I think. Yeah, Gary Hambrick. Pastor Gary. He is the best teacher. He's so down to earth, and he's funny sometimes, and he has a nice sized church, and he does Sundays and Wednesday evenings, and it's all Bible teaching, nothing else. And goes through the Bible verse by verse and chapter by chapter, and it's so good. And that's the one I've listened to several that I like, but I'm down to really listening to him the most because he's the easiest for me to understand. And yeah, that's when I'm most at peace, is when I'm doing this. He's on YouTube. Yes, he's on YouTube. Look up Cornerstone Chapel, Leesburg, Virginia. And that's his church. His church. You'll like him. Uh, both of his young sons are pastors in the church. He just celebrated 30 years in this church. He started this church in a school. So that's the trouble with these chats. I come on, I really don't have a subject. I just talk about whatever, like my new glasses, dumb stuff like that. Stuff in my life. And I want to hear from everybody. But does anybody here know? I know we have some people in Florida. Does anybody know who it is? Is it Guitar Guy and Dahlia? Somebody. Debbie's here. Hi. Yeah. We were just talking about all kinds of stuff. Uh yeah, see, Guitar Guy isn't here tonight, and I just pray for everybody down in Florida that's in the path. And Riri's sister is in Georgia, and she's right in the direct path also. So, yeah, say a prayer for Riri's sister. Mm. Like I've said, I think before, I think Ohio, even we get a few tornadoes once in a while, rarely though. But besides having to go through the winters, which aren't pleasant, uh, we don't get any horrible weather. I mean, horrendous weather like those, like Florida gets. How many times, there's hurricanes every hurricane season. And now they seem to be going up more and up on the East Coast a lot. I don't know if I'm noticing it more because I know people that live there. But yeah. And then you have California with all their problems. They have the earthquakes, they have those horrible fires out there in the west. Ah, it's frightening. Life is frightening. Mm. Yes, you just have to have faith. The hurricane sat over Cancun for a while before it came up through the Gulf. And that's exactly my granddaughter went on a cruise with her girlfriend because they invited her to be, somebody couldn't go, so her daughter wanted Ava to go, so she got to go on a cruise for free. However, that was like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. Thank goodness it wasn't now, because they wouldn't have been going to Cancun. She went to Cancun. Yeah. Yeah, the hurricane sat on Cancun for a while. Yes, God's got us in his palm of his hand. He loves us. And whatever is meant to be is meant to be, and it's for the good. I have to keep that in mind about the election. It's already been foretold. I mean, the future. We know how it's going to end. So anybody out there doesn't know Jesus, you never know. Yeah. Don't get caught short. That would be a horrible, horrible thing. Let me put it this way. What do you have to lose? You accept Christ as your Savior. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. But if you don't, you have everything to lose. And I have decided I'm probably not the one to be talking to my son, because a lot of times a person's closest relative, like their mother, isn't the one. And I just have to pray that somebody comes across his path. Yeah. So I think with that, keeping that in mind, I'm going to close for the night and go get my drapes out of the washer and put the other load in. And continue to watch the longest series I've ever watched in my life. I wish it would get over with. I don't know why I can't just stop watching it. Has anybody watched parts or all of The Lost? I don't know when it was out. It's not new. Just Lost. It's about the plane that goes down on a jungle island. And it just goes on from there, and it goes into a million different stories and a million different weird things. And oh, it just won't stop. I'm ready to be done already. But it just keeps going into something different. Uh, well, yes, this was a great visit. I'm glad that everybody came on to talk and get grounded while watching your shows. Yes, I will have to. I will have to put this on my recliner and see if I can. It has to be sort of, I think, it can't be all wrinkled up. I think it has to be, because they talk about it being, you know, has little silver wires in there, or silver threads. I don't think it can be all wrinkled up. I don't think. I don't know. They show it really neat on the bed, so. Your favorite series is called The Midwife. I watched that for a long time because it was about, first of all, it's in Britain, and second of all, it's, nursey type thing. And then my sister was a maternity nurse, so I sort of, yeah, I like that. I watched it for a long time. Diane, did you watch, what were you talking about, The Midwife or The Lost? Uh, I forget. I'm on like the sixth series. I don't know how long this goes, but wow. I'm at the point now, if anybody knows about it, I'm at the point now where Mr. Locke, John Locke, is not a real, doesn't seem to be a real person now. He's some sort of an entity. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even be watching this. It's so weird. It's weird. Anyway, I will be back on Sunday to tell you what I sold. Just before I came on here, I sold my one thing of the day. I sold those pair of pants by Ivanka Trump that I just put on recently. So, yeah. So at least I have one thing. I hate to put my barrel out there and put my little sign on that I didn't sell anything, so there's nothing to pick up. Lost, yeah. Did you watch the whole thing? And how long does it go? Yes, it's interesting. It keeps changing. It's weird. So, I will be back on Sunday. I hope to see you all then. And I hope I have more sales than I have right now because it's a pretty tiny little pile here. So I will see you then. I'll try to get a video on about decluttering on before then. So be good, everybody. Pray for us. Pray for the people in Florida. And yeah, I will see you then.